What's up guys, welcome to our tutorial on vectors. Here we'll take a look at a collection type that's similar to an array but a little bit more powerful. So we're going to first learn how to create vectors, then how to add elements to vectors, and how to remove elements from vectors. Let's head to the code and get started. So let's begin by talking about what vectors are. Well, vectors really are just more powerful versions of arrays. So these are arrays that are mutable, meaning we can add elements to them and remove elements from them, but they also have a host of other functions that allow us to either manipulate them in some way or to retrieve properties of them. Okay, so really where we have static data that we know isn't going to change very much, that's probably where we should use an array. As soon as we know that data is going to change, it's going to grow or shrink in size, then we probably need to turn to something like a vector. Alright, to gain access to the vector, we actually have to add another include statement. So we need to include the vector library, like so. Now these are part of the standard library, so we're going to need to do a standard vector, like so, and then in the angular brackets beside it, we put the type of variable that we want to store in here. So let's do basically the same thing as before with the roster. Might as well keep the same examples, so we'll do a standard string here. It's going to be a vector of strings, and then we just need to give this a name, so in this case maybe roster or something. Now we're not going to set this up by providing initial values or anything. What we'll do instead is create it, and then we'll just push items onto it. So when we push something onto a vector, it just sticks it right onto the end. So in this case we'll do roster, and we'll call the push back function, and then we just need to pass in an appropriate value. So in this case I'll just maybe do my own name first. Okay, and then maybe we'll add a couple more people. So let's do Sally, and we'll do, I don't know, Laura or something. Okay, just some people that we might want to add to our roster. So now it's 3 members long. It starts off with my name, and then the next, and then the next. Okay, so each one you add just goes to the back of the stack. All right. Similarly, we can remove elements from a vector by doing the roster in this case, or the vector name dot pop back. Okay, so the pop back function is just going to remove the last element in a vector. Okay, we can keep doing this until we have popped all the elements, or until we get to the one we want. Okay, alternatively, if I want to insert an item at a specific index, let's say I want to put someone right after myself but before Sally, what I can do is I can do roster.insert, okay, and with the insert function, this takes first a position, then the value. Now, annoyingly enough, I actually can't just do the position of 1. What I would have to do is something like roster.begin plus 1, okay, and then my value. Let's do like, I don't know, maybe we'll do Mike or something. Okay, so this is now going to insert the value of Mike in between me and Sally because it gets the beginning, or 0, plus 1, which would be this index. Okay, and it just inserts it right here, so it basically pushes this back and puts that new value Mike right there. Okay. Now these are just a few of the many possible operations we can perform on vectors. You can open them up to see a complete list by doing the name dot, and now you can see that there are a lot of different functions that we can call on these vectors. So feel free to check some of them out. Otherwise, we covered the basic operations of add, remove, and insert. Definitely give it a bit more of a play around. When we come back, we're going to be talking about if statements. That will be our first introduction into conditional logic in our code. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.